Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Fun Girl Podcast with your host Jasmine. I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling pretty motivated for this episode because there was a lot of stuff on my mind last night. Last night as in from when I recorded this to today. Just some things that I've been dealing with personally. For whatever reason, I was kind of in my feels about not feeling pretty enough. I just had this random thought last night, God, I hate my hair. I was on the phone with my boyfriend and I'm like, I hate my hair. It's not long enough, or it's not pretty enough, it's not curly enough. I feel like I have to straighten it, or I have to hide it behind wigs because I hate dealing with my own hair. I hate washing my hair because then I have to deal with the blow drying process and the straightening process, or doing whatever you have to do to get it just the right curliness, for whoever you're trying to impress, whether it's yourself or people in general. I was going through all those thoughts in my head, and then it started to spiral into I've gained weight recently. I haven't been working out as much because I'm too tired from work and I'm too overwhelmed with the things that I'm dealing with, that I am not making time for the gym like I was this time last year, or I'm not making enough money. I don't have enough money to buy clothes, and if you know me, you know that I love clothes, and so that is important. But I'm thinking about all these things, and I'm scrolling through Instagram and I'm looking at the influencers that great for them, and in this sense I wish sometimes that I could be like them or have what they have going for themselves. But I'm looking at these people who have the money to get their hair done by professionals every week or two. They are getting free clothes from brand deals and partnerships and gifted collabs, and even if they're not, then they're earning money and being able to buy whatever they want. They're going on these vacations that I just so badly wish that I could afford to go on at this point in my life and get a little break from my reality. I'm doing a lot of comparing, which I feel like so many women and girls have been speaking on lately, but I cannot stress enough how deeply important it is to ground yourself again, to remember that you are okay, you're worth it, you're worthy, you're beautiful, you've got things going for yourself that other people wish they had going for them. I'm trying to ground myself throughout the course of the night and throughout my day and remind myself of these things, and so I just felt motivated, let's make an episode about it, because I know that I'm not the only one dealing with these things, and I just figured it would be a good thing to put out there into the world. So let's see. As I said, I started to spiral, from the previous episode that I mentioned. I was going through some personal, and still am going through some personal changes, some medical stuff and other things, and so I'm just thinking about that, and I'm everything is so hard right now, and I'm just pushing through it, but everything is so hard, and it's kind of sucks right now, and the things that I want to focus my attention to, I kind of just can't, and it sucks because I'm around people who are, planning trips and getting their hair done and buying clothes and going out on the weekends, and I'm seeing it on my timeline, and my For You page, like all of that. And like, I just wish so badly that I could be focusing on that right now, but I just can't afford to. And it is what it is. It has to be okay, because what else is it gonna be? Am I gonna let it destroy me, or am I just gonna brave through the storm and find myself again and just make it through? So that's what I'm trying to do at this point in time. I feel like I saw something on Instagram that was actually kind of like encouraging and a little bit motivating in this kind of predicament. I'm gonna try to like look at it, because it's so important to me. So for example, I saw this post that was basically saying replacing bad habits with something positive. So lately, with all the stuff that I've been dealing with, I've been just going on a Netflix marathon, which has given me some peace and relaxation. I haven't done that in a long time, but according to this, you know, like binging Netflix and not doing anything else, which is pretty much what I've been doing, could be replaced with getting some rest. And I will say that I don't get enough rest. I get maybe like 4 hours of sleep for work every night, and then I wake up and I just function, and then I do it all again because I'm up all night, like on TikTok, on Instagram, watching Netflix, whatever. I've been kind of down because lately, with me kind of being stuck in the house with like the things that I've been dealing with, I haven't been able to get fast food or like takeout or anything. But according to this list, you could replace the fast food habit with making homemade food, which is what I've kind of been doing. I've had no choice but to do that because, you know, it's so easy to like order DoorDash or like Grubhub or whatever, but I've been really trying to work on that to save money in this time that I really, really need it. And again, this kind of ties into the Netflix marathon. It said you could replace watching TV for exercising. Part of my problem is that I've been so down about how I've gained a little bit of weight lately. At least in my own eyes, I'm not satisfied with what I have going on. And I can fully admit that is complete and utter body dysmorphia. And that's something that I'll cover in a different episode. But that is just me dealing with body dysmorphia, but also not knowing how to just like love myself and accept it. And though that's true, I think there is still time and effort that I could be putting into going to the gym. I spend maybe, after I get home from work, I spend maybe like 5 hours watching TV or streaming something or like scrolling through a timeline on whatever app, when I could be using that and taking my ass to the gym and, you know, working out like how I was before, the version of me that I keep comparing myself to from like a year ago that was doing that. I should and could be doing that just as easily as I'm feeling down about it. And it's me like taking accountability for it. And this one is like the next really hard-hitting message. You could replace complaining with gratitude. I did a lot of complaining yesterday. Not all of it got vocalized out loud, but in my head, I'm just like, I can't afford to go on a trip. Why am I even looking at plane tickets? You can't do it anyway. Your life sucks. You can't afford to buy the clothes that you really want and the outfits that you're seeing that you'd love to get and put in your cart and just splurge and treat yourself. your hair, you hate your hair so much for whatever reason, instead of really learning how to value it and take care of it and ways to style it so that you do love it and you feel comfortable in your own hair and your own skin. I'm doing all of this complaining instead of being grateful. Something that I kind of thought about is basically, I was in a car accident a little over a week ago, and I was really sad because I'm pretty sure that my car is going to be totaled, right? I was sad about that and saying how I hate change. I don't want to get a new car, like this sucks and whatever. But instead, I could have been taking gratitude that I'm here to complain about those things and to be sad about that. It could have went in a completely different direction, and I'm here to say that. I'm here to talk about it. So that's something that I really didn't take much accountability for until I just thought about it to myself, like last night and today. Again, it's hard to really like hold the mirror up to yourself and really like stick true and just say like, you know what, I need to stop this. Like, I need to be grateful for more. I've been upset that I can't buy new clothes. I should be grateful that I have a whole closet full of clothes that I can rewear and restyle whenever I choose to. There are, things that we just take for granted every day. Like, seriously. I don't want to like sidetrack myself, but there's so much that I am grateful for because I went so long without having some of the simple things in life, but you still take other things for granted every now and then, and you just really got to stop and smell the roses and thank God and appreciate and take gratitude for your position. And if you really aren't satisfied with it, whatever you do that makes you feel comfortable, pray about it, just reflect, talk to your therapist, like whatever it is you do, like vent to a friend, write in a journal, listen to music and sit in the ambiance of your thoughts. Whatever it is you do, you got to do it to find a way to hone yourself into accepting what is and bettering yourself with what you are capable of. I don't know. I do wish that there were more reminders in the day for things like this, because as easy as it is for me to talk about this right now while I'm motivated, I have a lot of days where I might just lay on my couch, lay in my bed, and like isolate myself from everything and everyone and just be sad and allow myself to be deep in the rabbit hole of sadness and like despair, because it's easy to do that. It's easy to lose sight of whatever. I just really wanted to share that message because I didn't have it, and someone kind of reminded me of having to listen to something bigger than yourself to be reminded of why we do the things that we do. And I really want to find this quote, so I'm gonna look it up real quick. There's this quote that I love about feeling less than. Let me see. So I almost forgot. I was scrolling through my timeline and I found something that I wanted to share, but I couldn't find at the moment. So there's this account that I really, really love, and their handle is "We're Not Really Strangers." They post a lot of like really simple but moving messages, and they have this thread that they posted a little after Valentine's Day, and it was like, I can't tell if it's like lipstick or marker written on a mirror. And I really love that concept because, you know, we all look in the mirror and do the comparing and the judging and being unkind to ourselves sometimes. But I will show you guys. So I'll read them first and I will slide through as I'm reading. One slide says, "It's important to leave the house." I need to remind myself of that because I've been just sticking in the house or like coming home and just staying home because I feel like that's the better thing for me to do. Another slide says, "I will attract the right people by being myself." That's where you kind of like see the influencers and like all those people, or like people you know in real life, and there's a big group of people, and I myself feel this, but like we as like people or lonely people kind of, I compare myself to other people who have these like big friend groups, and sometimes I wish that I had that because it seems so fun and enjoyable. But whether or not I do have that in my life, that is okay. Like, I'm fine either way. But if I do, I know it'll be because of what they just said. I will attract the right people by being myself, and the right people will stick around because they love me and there's mutual respect there. And that's all I could really ask for. And the next slide says, "I don't need everyone to like me." So when you do the comparing thing because you're not getting enough likes on a TikTok or like an Instagram post or whatever, just remind yourself that like you don't need everyone to like you. It's okay as long as you felt pretty in that moment, or as long as you feel satisfied with yourself, then it's all good. Like, everything is great, really. Another one is just so important for like people our age. "I will not post a story to prove that I'm having fun." So many of us do this all the time, and I've done this in the past to like prove to other people or to kind of prove to myself, like whatever. It's so weird, and it's nothing wrong with like sharing the fun, happy moments, but if you're doing it with the intention of like making someone else see that you're doing okay in life or whatever, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and you must not actually be feeling that way. Then last but not least, "I will not compare myself to people who seem cooler than me." This right here is literally what this episode was pretty much about. Me looking at the influencers on my like socials and then starting to go down this spiral of comparing myself, hair, body, clothes, lifestyle. Like, I don't need to do that, and neither do you. They're living their lives. You need to find your own and live it and be the best you that makes yourself happy. And that's it. You could be the coolest person to the people who love you and to yourself, and that is all that would matter. Those people, maybe they might really feel satisfied and happy, maybe they might not, but either way, as long as you feel at peace with yourself and satisfied with the life that you're living and the choices that you're making, then everything is fine. I just have to insert that here in the clip because I found it after the fact, and so yeah, I will slide through and show you guys real quick. really, I will say one person that I love to like hear quotes from about not feeling good enough and being reminded that it's not just me. I really, really love listening to Selena Gomez like open up about that kind of thing, because first off, we love Selena, big fan, so much respect and love for her. But I remember seeing some of her interviews and just hearing her admit to the public about how she didn't really feel good enough. Like in her documentary, My Mind and Me, she's narrating a section of the film, and she's like, just be who you are, Selena. No one cares what you're doing. It's about who I am, being okay with where I am. I'm grateful to be alive. That really, really hit me, because there were times where I wasn't grateful to be alive. There were times where I wished that I wasn't. There were times that I tried to not be. And there were times where I wasn't grateful for where I am. There were times where I felt like everybody cared about what I was doing, and it made every decision hard and made everything that I did such a big deal. And I never felt like I could just be myself a lot of times in my life, until more recently. When you change your environment, you change your mindset, you hear other people and their stories that kind of help you, and I don't know, like, I'm grateful that I can see the other side of it, because it means so much. It really, really does. And I want to share this message too. I'm kind of getting a little choked up. I'm sorry. I wanted to share this message too, because just like pretty much everything that I share on this podcast, part of my intention is to share it to help someone else, to have someone who is not hearing this or who's not thinking this to hear it, and to recognize that it's not just them, or that there's someone out there rooting for them. There's someone out there trying to encourage them, someone that they can see themselves in and feel that it's a greater issue than just them, and we can be okay. You know, I think a lot of us feel like it's the end all be all if your hair is not how you want it to be. It's the end all be all if you don't have the wardrobe that you feel like you want to have in your life. It's the end all be all if, you know, you're not out doing the same things that everyone else is doing, like partying, going on vacations, and, you know, being around a bunch of people all the time. It's not the end all be all. And I think more of us need to remember that, because that's what it feels like all of the time. And we're more than that. And life is more than that. And I think majority of life is about the moments that we don't want people to see, the moments that we are just being ourselves, the moments when you're home alone, you're not wearing any makeup, you're in your pajamas, you're eating a bowl of cereal on the couch or in your bed. It's the moments where you just take in life. You're listening to a song that makes you just feel at peace. The moments where you feel really happy, and maybe you're surrounded by people, and that's great, but some of my best, most cherished moments are when I was able to feel happiness or joy or gratitude, and I was alone. And a lot of the happy times that I feel, honestly, are when I'm at home doing something simple that a lot of people might not really think is that great or that exciting. Those are the moments that I kind of feel the most happy. When I'm listening to a song for the first time and I really, really love it and I want to replay it. When I'm just waking up in the morning and I got a good night's rest and I don't have to go anywhere and I don't have any plans. I love that hour or 30 minutes where I just lay in bed, even though I'm up now for the day, but I'm not doing anything. And I just feel gratitude that I get to rest and relax my mind. And I don't know, those are the moments that I feel the most peace and happiness in. And I feel like a lot of us, we probably feel a lot of our happiness and joy in those moments too, but we don't like to admit it because it's easier to post the moments where you're jumping up and down at a party, or it's easier to share the moments where you're doing something really crazy, which is also good and also healthy to have in your life, but we don't have to continuously compare and fall into that sadness because we're not where someone else is. I look at influencers that I really have a deep admiration for. I don't blame them for what they're doing. I don't feel jealousy, but sometimes I do just wish that I was somewhat in their position. But then there's other times where I'm grateful that I'm not. And I don't know, I just appreciate that. And when you really take the time to reflect, I think you will too. So with that being said, I just hope that you took something from this. Like I say at the end of every episode, I do really appreciate the time that we spend together. If you really sit and you listen to what I have to say, you think that something stuck with you, that just means everything to me. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and you should take a listen to some of the previous episodes that I released. I will see you guys in the next one.